Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Season 2. In last week's episode, we followed Max as he went to the mess hall to complete another labor. When he arrived, he met Giuseppe, one of the two owners and operators of the mess hall, and was quickly brushed off. However, due to Deus Ex Machina moments of comedy, if you'd call it that, a new position just so happened to spontaneously open for Max. He would go to the kitchen and assist the second half with the taste testing, but his introductions were rather unsavory, as Max got a blast from Franklin, the cook. Things went from bad to worse, only to be interrupted by a panicking Giuseppe rushing in saying that a small child had come in on their birthday. Oh no. As things were seeming horrible, Max stepped up to the plate and helped. But things didn't go in his favor, or Franklin's. Distraught over his failure to bake, Franklin gave up and sulked. But he rallied after Max gave a very B-movie chat of inspiration. What? It wasn't that good of a moment. After he rallied, Franklin and Max worked together to bake a cake, sing the birthday song, and then they partied. Yippee! After 3 days at the mess hall, Max finally finished his time there, and he got two signed labor forms, one from Giuseppe and the other from Franklin. Whew! He got everything he needed. But I guess he likes punishment, so, here we are. Episode 7, To the Colosseum. Are you not entertained? Sorry, I can't do that voice. Are you not entertained? After completing the 3 labors he needed to gain a favor from York, Max woke up and felt like more could be done. Although he got what he needed, he couldn't help but go to the Colosseum to see what it's all about, as well as have a talk with Lancelot about some work to do so he could fill out another labor form as a bonus. He rises out of bed, makes a big stretch, gets changed, and then makes a jovial walk over to the Colosseum. He's all happy and chipper like a young lad that just got married, but alas, he hasn't even spoken to a woman outside the Adventurers Guild. What can you do? I've been busy trying to figure this place out. Gotta make the most of it while I can. But I think sometime in the future, I'll meet the girl of my dreams. I'm sure you will, buddy. With the good vibes going, Max's jovial walk turns into a gallant skip to the Colosseum. When he arrives, he already sees a line of patrons waiting to get in, as well as hearing a roaring noise coming from the inside. Feeling the energy and the excitement, Max can't help but get swept into it, boosting his enthusiasm further. He is eager as a beaver to do his part and begins his search for where he can participate in helping. He circles around to the other side of the Colosseum and finds a back entrance guarded by 2 guards. Really? That's the words you chose? With that being the only entrance, Max figures he goes there and sees if he can enter or sign up or something. He walks up to the guards and they immediately bar him off and push him back. Hey, what's the big idea? Isn't this the entrance for service workers? I just so happen to be in the service of working. Max makes a foolishly goofy facial expression, thinking that he had charmed the guards over with his dumb joke. Unfortunately, these guards weren't the typical ones you see in a children's animation like Shrek. Oh, no. Instead, they were the other typical guards. The ones that were savagely rude and took a liking to those that paid them. Silence, you delusional fool! The guard shouts out, silencing the fool's ability to speak any further. He points the tip of his spear in Max's face, so close that if Max had any facial hair at all, he would have given him a noticeable shave. Yeah, if he had facial hair. Hey! I do have facial hair! Oh, right. You mean that scruff on your face that you pass off as facial hair? Looks more like a child scribbled on your face. Why, I oughta—
Shut your mouth, you blithering fool! Present your worker's pass or leave here in several pieces!
Worker's pass? What's that? The guards pull back their spears, pause for a moment, look at each other, and then get a mischievous grin. Oh, crap. Just as Max was about to run for his life from the bloodthirsty guards, the door that was being guarded opens. Out comes a tall, slender man with a flat face, half closed or open, it depends on how you look at it, eyes, and straight hair of some color. Can't say which because the writer didn't bother to write it here, I guess, at the moment. He is wearing an outfit that is quite luxurious and dashing, oh my. He doesn't look like a worker, nor a contender, Rather someone that works in the higher-up places in the Colosseum. He steps out and looks displeased. If that's what you would call whatever that face is.
What is all the commotion? Has someone tried sneaking in again?
No, sir, but we suspect this fool is trying to do something. He claimed to be a worker in servicing needs of some sort.
That's right, sir. He doesn't even have a worker's pass.
No? Very well. You can dispose of him alive.
The gods regain their grin and turn back to Max as the prestigious man walks back inside. But before being shish kebab, Max calls out, hoping his words would save his life. The guards stop after hearing Max's half-assed speech. It was so jarring that it even got the attention of the prestigious man. Since he had gotten their attention without screaming to death, Max takes it upon himself to try again. He clears his throat and makes his case. I'm looking for a gentleman that goes by the name Lancelot. I was told that he is the showrunner of this fine Colosseum, and if I had asked for him to give me some work, he would oblige. Rupert sent me here saying those very words. The guards are confused. They look at each other, and then at the prestigious man. The prestigious man stares blankly at Max.
Rupert? My old friend? Well, why didn't you say so sooner? You must be the Max Dougal he was talking about. Guards, stand down and welcome the man in. He's a friend of a friend, and a friend of a friend is a friend of mine. Come on in, Max Dougal. I have been waiting for you.
Max is escorted in and given the royal treatment from the prestigious man. He guides him in through the back halls of the Colosseum, leading him to all the staging areas that go on before an event. As he is being guided, Max feels like he's being pushed or pulled along by the prestigious man, like he's showing him his most prized possessions in an obsessive manner.
Look at this! Look at that! Why, yes!
Nope.
No! Yes! Come on! Go!
By the end of the abrasive tour, Max is welcomed to a large room filled with the most high-end and luxurious items he's ever seen since first stepping foot in Galavandriel. Just then, a roaring crowd can be heard from the left side of the room, and Max rushes over to see what the hubbub is. He looks over to see a Colosseum filled to the rafters with a crowd roaring, cheering, chanting, and screaming as an intensely dogged race takes place. Beside him, the prestigious man takes a seat in a lavishly large throne-like chair that can see everything that takes place. Oh, you must be Lancelot.
Yes, this here is my Colosseum. I built it with the help from Rupert. We hold hundreds of competitions year-round, and right now, we are in the middle of our racing event. Our bull racing event. As mentioned before, you are Max Dougal. Therefore, it would be rude of me not to introduce myself. I am Lancelot, showrunner of the Colosseum.
Max smacks his face again, knowing what kind of experience he's going to have with Lancelot. Oy.
Oh, a high five! I've seen those going around a lot lately.
Trying to take his mind off of what's to be expected of Lancelot, Max turns his attention to the race. He notices it's not just a regular jockey race from his world. He sees regular-sized men with their legs straddled to the sides of the bulls as they dart around the track 3 times over. Speaking of bulls, Max notices that those aren't regular bulls. Those beasts are extremely muscle-bound. They're colored differently, that's rude, wearing armor for some reason, and have unique horns, and he wonders why. He watches closely as he sees one bull rear behind another and uses its horn to do some unpleasant things that'll leave a man broken on the floor crying, "Mommy." The crowd oohs and ahs and then cheers shortly after. What the hell's wrong with them? Horrified by the stunning visuals that we cannot show you due to various factors, so I'll let you folks imagine on your own. Max is left speechless and a little worried. So, What kind of work will you need me to do, Lancelot?
Ah, right. Your duties that I promised Rupert that I'd give you. Come, follow me.
Lancelot hops off his throne and leads Max back down to the main floor of the Colosseum, where they go down another ramp to the basement of the Colosseum. Lancelot brings Max to the bulls in their dens and the riders' stables. When they get there, Max looks around to see what looks like a giant hamster cage set up for the bulls to exercise with. Giant water tanks with a trough at the end for them to drink from, as well as a metric ton of hay mixed with a bunch of other ingredients of some kind. Holy moly! They also have a large metal rod where he sees the bulls rubbing, or rather sharpening their horns against, and a wall that pushes back as soon as the bulls run into it. Kinda like those instruments they use for American football tackling practice. On the other side of the bull dens are the riders' areas, each equipped with their own anvil and forge for them to fix or create armor for themselves or their cows. A bed, a personal kitchen and latrine, as well as a stack of barrels that are emitting a cool air flowing from them. They look like barrels of ice. But what for?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's what's for. Max looks over to see a rider pressing his nether regions and legs on the ice. So, yeah, that's what they're used for. Max cringes and sympathizes with the pain of the rider and leaves after seeing too much. When Max returns to Lancelot, he is handed a shovel and a bucket.
Here you go, Max. Your equipment.
What for?
Why, for your work, of course. You are on cleaning duty. Bull cleaning duty. First things first, please clean all the bull excrement from their dens. When you are done with that, please restock their dens with fresh hay, which you'll find in the back, and fill up their water tanks from the pipes above as well. After restocking and cleaning the poop, please rinse and give the bulls a good scrubbing, and then come back to me when you are done.
Are you insane? This is gonna take me a week to do, and I only have 3 days left.
Well, Rupert informed me that you are a real go-getter and urged me to give you a double helping of work. So, chop chop, get to work. I'll be in my quarters if you need me.
After being given the end of the stick, quite literally, Max is faced with a tremendous amount of work. He's worried that he won't finish in time to turn over his favors to York, losing himself valuable information that can help him get his quest going. He looks around the dens to see what should be done first, and what to avoid and do last. He looks around all the 12 dens to see what is needed most and how much of it he needs to do. Much to his dismay, Max sees that most dens are covered in bull droppings. Lovely, large bull droppings, while everything else requires very little attention. He lets out a sigh of exasperation, knowing full well that he needs to pull up his big boy pants and begin shoveling. Yeah, Mr. Narrator, I think they get it. Oh, hush and clean up the poop, you big baby. After starting the day in a really high-spirited and enthusiastic way, it would seem that Max's chipper attitude vanished into thin air. But still, against every fiber of his being, and being thoroughly disgusted with the sight, much less the smell, Max sucks it up, grabs the shovel, and starts scooping. The first scoop digs into the sloshy pile of filth, and as Max brings it over to the bucket, it slides down and plops, spluttering. Apologies, folks. Let's return to Max and see how he is faring.
Huh? Oh my! What's this? He's already done 8? And currently working on the 9th? How did he? When did he? Why did he?
With the dismissal bell ringing the end of the day, all contenders leave as Max finishes the 9th den after a harrowing day. After which he leaves, but before he does, he is met with Lancelot, who is planning on having a word with him. But after getting a whiff of the poor lad, he puts on a fake smile and runs as fast as he can from Max.
Oh, Max, Oh, never mind. We can can wait till tomorrow.
Not bothered by it at all, Max just walks back to his place of residence to shower his stench away, eat some food, and sleep. As he was returning home, the residents of Tavensburg that were walking the same streets as Max kept their distance, for obvious reasons. The next day, the sun rose, and our protagonist gets up from his bed, already hating what's to be expected. Come on, sleepyhead, wake up.
Huh? Where's Max Dougal? Without him, I'm just a voice taunting no one. No? All right then. He probably went to the Colosseum already. Let's go with haste. Max, are you here?
Right here.
Oh, thank God. Don't leave without me narrating you again.
It would seem that Max knew that his time was short, and instead of dreading every second of it, he instead took it upon himself to wake up early and get a head start. And boy, did it work out! Holy hell! He's just finished scooping up the last of the cow... Never mind, you get it. With the hardest part now done, Max takes a breather, a long one before starting his next two tasks. When he returns, he grabs a pitchfork and a cart and makes his way to the back of the den area and loads it up with hay. When filled, he goes den to den, filling them with more than enough hay to feed the bulls. He finishes that task rather quickly and doesn't stop there. He puts away the cart and pitchfork and grabs a ladder. With the ladder, he goes to each den, sets up the ladder, climbs up it, unscrews the lid for the bulls' water tanks, and then opens the pipe to fill them. Much like his last task, Max finished his third quickly, which gives him more time on his fourth and final task, bull cleaning. After returning the ladder, Max fetches a pail of hot water and a large sponge. Some of the contenders start coming in, and they are impressed with Max's work ethic and efforts. When they pass by him, they give him thumbs up and small praises here and there.
Hey, good job. Hey man, good job. Yeah. All right.
Max just smiles and nods at them, but then carries on with his task. Several hours go by, and Max has finished cleaning half the bulls, but he is soon interrupted by a loud bell. Max perks his head up and wonders what the bell is all about, and notices 6 contenders running to their dens. They prep their bulls, and soon after themselves, and afterwards they go up the ramp leading into the Colosseum to participate into the next race. Problem with the race starting is that the rest of the bulls that Max needs to wash, well, they're the ones that are the ones racing. So he's going to have to wait until the race is over so he can finish his task and then meet with Lancelot shortly after. So he sits down and takes a break. About 10 minutes go by and a loud pop sounds off, followed by stampeding, indicating that the race has begun. As Max listens to the announcer and the march of the bulls trembling above him, he can't help but wonder what it's like to be a contender in those races. Just as he wonders, he gets an idea. He goes to the closest den and looks for the name of the bull. Branded on a large wooden plank reads Stumpy. Max can't help but smirk at the bull's name. Stumpy. But continues with his brilliant idea. I can't wait to see what it is. He nears Stumpy and mounts the cow. That sounds a little dirty. Trying to simulate what it's like being a bull racer. Oh, that's better. That cleared it up. He grabs the reins and playfully whips them, kicks his heels into the bull, and woos and cheers. Not comprehending Max's subtle signs of simulation, the bull gets up and starts moving out of its den, and starts making its way up the ramp towards the track. Max is completely oblivious to what's happening as he is still enjoying his silly little childish game. He whips the reins again, this time a little harder than last time, as well as really kicking and digging his heels into the sides of the bull. This, of course, triggered the bull to run, gallop, march, stampede! It hoofs out from its nose so aggressively that steam and dust from the ground is visibly seen, and then soon, the bull takes off. Yee! Whoa! The bull runs full speed ahead and bashes right into the wooden gates of the track. The whole crowd is confused as the wooden gate was blasted open and a dust cloud covered the area, preventing them from seeing what's going on. Moments later, from the dust jumps out and takes off like a rocket is Stumpy. And his rider? Why, of course, it's Max Dougal. The crowd goes wild as a surprise contender makes a fashionable entrance. Max screams as he bobs and bounces up, down, and all around as Stumpy runs at breakneck speed and steadily catching up with the other racers. Not long after, Stumpy passes them, and the racers see it's Max and are confused. The track bends and zigs and zags, and Stumpy uses it to cut ahead and manages to get into second, slowly catching up to the racer in first. The track straightens out, and the finish line is seen in the far, far distance. It's just a matter of endurance for both Max and the first place runner. Stumpy gets excited as it nears a fellow bull and soon matches speed with it. The racer looks over at Max, who is starting to lose his grip and is feeling the effects of the wind being blown in his face. He looks at Max and shrugs at him with a confused, "What the heck?" face. Max shakes his head apologetically as he loses his grips of the rein and flies back. Luckily, he manages to grab the edge of the hip guards that were still on Stumpy and holds on tight. As the two racers near the finish line, Max holds on for dear life as Stumpy picks up speed, gaining the lead. The track narrows a little, and the bulls are in a single file line. Max tries to get up but falls multiple times. Although it seems that Max is putting in the effort to try and recover, the bull behind him doesn't seem to think so. He sees Max's shaking and bobbing ass and misconstrues it as an act of aggression. It enrages and points its singular large unicorn-looking horn right at Max's behind. Unaware of what's happening behind him, Max focuses on trying to get back up on Stumpy. Okay. He finally gets a good grip and pulls himself up, but is stuck hunched over with his ass sticking out. The bull behind him sees his ass out as another taunting message and snorts out in anger. It runs full speed ahead with its horn pointed at Max's rear end. In his position, Max looks up to see that in just about 100 feet, he'll reach the finish line and unofficially win his first bull race. Distracted with the possibility of winning, he isn't aware that he is about to be sodomized. The bull behind him charges forward and thrusts its mighty horn up and into Max. Yeah! The crowd all oohs in pain as they all simultaneously feel what Max just experienced. Ouch! Soon after, Stumpy crosses the finish line, winning Max's first and only race in the Colosseum. But he passed out shortly after being impaled up the butt. An hour later, Max wakes up with his lower half feeling blisteringly cold. He wakes to see that he is in an ice bath, and next to him, smiling ear to ear, is Lancelot. He is startled by his unsettling smile.
Max, my boy, that was genius! A surprise from Stumpy, bursting in out of nowhere with a new unknown racer, and winning the whole thing, and making it look good all at the same time? You are a natural showman. The crowd has been going wild, and they want more. You can forget about finishing your tasks, because you brought a lot of revenue for me. So I'll consider your job done. I have already signed your labor form for you. You can come back any time you want. Just let the gods know that you are here to see me, and I will let you pass. Oh, and one more thing. Rupert has asked for you. He said he will be in the garden that is at the back of the central office. I promised to carry the message on for him, but I also mentioned that you won't make it today. You'll want to stay in the ice bath for a couple of more hours. Ta-ta, Max!
And that is the end of episode 7. Thank you for coming by for this episode, folks. If there is one thing you can take away from this episode, don't participate in the run of the bulls, lest you get your ass scored just like Max did. Thank you for coming by. I hope that didn't disturb you. Take care.